There's a village in Nuremberg whose name means eavesdropper in German. Now, what did this village provide the whole world with for more than 100 consecutive Christmases?
War criminals.
Oh, dear.
The old tradition of roasting a war criminal. A glass of sherry. Cheers, Mr. Pumblechook.
Indigo, incidentally. What do you know about indigo?
Isn't it a fertility thing?
Well, it's an Indian plant that was used for dyeing.
In what sense would it be a fertility thing?
It's a colour, doesn't it? Doesn't it come up on women's legs in circles when they're ready?
One thing I learnt during the vagina monologues is that the clitoris is the only organ in the male or female body that's designed purely for pleasure. It has no other use at all.
That's wonderful.
Got no other use.
Entirely there for pleasure.
Just that's the only thing. It's just
decoration.
Just there. The decoration.
In my case, of course, that's true of the penis too. But from one kind of...
So, Stephen, what are you pissing through these days?
What makes a sound something like this?
Is it a bee under a sink?
Very good. So, now, our next question. What did Cat's Eyes Cunningham have for supper?
It's a shot in the dark, this. Was it chicken fajitas?
Which is the largest lake in Canada?
What's the difference between largest and biggest?
Well, in other languages, largest mean widest, I suppose, and biggest being just greatest in size. But largest we now mean to mean biggest. It originally meant wide. Large is wide in French, isn't it?
Right, thanks.
I mean... The composer himself ended it all by throwing himself from his apartment window in 1968, at the age of 70.
Well, that was a horrible mess, wasn't it, that? A 70-year-old hitting the pavement.
Why is that worse than anyone else?
Well, you know, a young person's got a bit of fat on them. There's something to cushion the splats, but this would just be bones and skin just drunk. Like a bag of crisps hitting the pavement.
What lives in the Dead Sea?
Not much.
Isn't there a fish that lives in it?
It's really stingy.
No fish.
If you get it
no.
in your eyes, it really stings.
Yeah, or we would.
There must be a nematode worm, because nematode worms live everywhere.
They seem to, don't they? No, it's not, actually. You've avoided saying nothing, which would
Is
have
it a
got the
rabbit?
big raspberry.
It's rabbits always going like that.
Oh, have you just escaped?
Actually, this collar's pushing out. It's starting to hurt my ears. Yeah. So pushing up, it's going to have sore under ears.
Yeah.
Later.
Your ears are very big. They're shown off for their full majesty in that outfit. I have to say.
You're going bald.
Yeah.
But to conclude, I say and maintain that of all the torchcool, arse-wisps, bum-fodders, tail napkins, bunghole cleansers and white breeches, there is none in the world comparable to the neck of a goose that is well downed, if you hold her head betwixt your legs.
Is it alive?
I fear it probably is.
Yes, I believe that adds a frisson
It has to be alive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When he said
Then
it
you
was
can
warm.
turn it and laugh in its face. We are the master race.
But the uses of gooses, or the ease of geese, range from...
It's the next question, the habits of rabbits.
Now, which popular game traditionally ends with all the players being thrown into a lake of fiery sulphur?
Well, I hope it's show jumping. I hate show jumping. Oh, God. I'd have one of those after every jump.
We've got hoax cards here, little jokers to play, because in keeping with the theme, there will be one question which is a hoax.
Thank you.
And you play your hoax card and you get extra points. If you play it and it isn't a hoax, you lose points, but don't have your hoax cards unspent at the end of the game.
What happens?
Well, I'm not going to tell you. But it may be...
More than once.
You could possibly know.
I don't think this format point's been worked out in enough detail. No. You should have decided whether you can play them more
No, you
than once.
can't. No, you can't. I was just thinking of being generous,
Just
and then I
like-
realised it was foolish.
For the pilot of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, did somebody go, and if we get one wrong, that's okay? Yeah, that's okay, yeah. Oh, hang on.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to just do it on the first question, then none of us can lose out. If we all do it on the first question...
We all do it on that.
We all lose points, and then it's just done.
Yeah.
There's some characters behind me, shifty-looking characters. What were they up to last night?
This isn't a hoax. They were all definitely up to something last night. Thank God we didn't do that.
Yeah. Were they cottaging? They were cottaging.
Shot and lock.
They were all out cottaging. It was a really tough night's cottaging. I think we need a pint after that.
They were brewing. They were up all night making a picnic table.
Before you get too insulting, they're in the studio tonight. I just thought...
They were winning the Mr. Handsome contest.
That's more like it.
Were they harming horses? You know when they people harm horses, like slash horses?
No.
But
it was a nighttime covert activity like slashing
goats.
horses.
They were slashing goats.
No, let's...
Has there been a decline in demand for cauliflower?
Yeah.
People are stupid,
They are stupid.
It's a lovely vegetable.
Yeah.
They don't know how to cook it, you see. They just think it doesn't taste of anything because they boil it and then it doesn't taste of anything.
Also, if you break off a little bit of cauliflower and look at it...
floret.
It looks like a tiny albino tree.
It does. I so agree. And if you're on a low-carb diet, you can mash it. And it's a very good substitute for mash.
I like to do it. I cook. I like to do it. I like to do it in a bin with loads of other rubbish. And it all piles up round there, and then you put it out, and the magical men take it away in a van.
What conclusion did the great biologist Stephen Jay Gould draw from a lifetime study of fish?
Oh.
Yeah.
They haven't got any legs.
I've swum with dolphins as well, and it is quite an extraordinary experience.
It's terrible when they reject you. Oh. That's horrible. And all your family and all your therapists are standing on the beach. It's freezing cold. And there's loads of dolphins just pissing off back to the sea. And then you look round and you go... I suppose we just better carry on with the medication then. No, Sean.
If they rejected you, Sean...
I mean, at least we tried. Can I have a towel? How do ants tell when they meet a beetle? It's not an ant. How do they know? And it meets a beetle, all right? Yeah. And then, how does it know? Because they can't see, can they?
Yeah, because it's either...
Ants can't see.
Yes, they can.
Oh, go back to school, Steve. Maybe I'm going on the wrong website.
I think you might have been.
It's Jordan's Animal Facts I'm going on. Ask Jordan.
Now, what are these animals fighting about?
They're not fighting. They're just...
Sparring.
Trying to get some...
They're trying to do a high five, but they just can't get it together.
Right answer.
The Latin name is Phylacrocorax.
What are you going to say?
Can I just give the Latin name?
I was going to say shag.
Shag, oh no!
Well, there's a poem, isn't there?
Yes, there is a poem by Christopher Isherwood, which goes, the common cormorant or shag...
Or shag lays its eggs in a paper bag.
Yeah.
The cormorant is the Phylacrocorax carbo. The shag is Phylacrocorax aristotelis. It doesn't have the white face and the...
This is brilliant. I mean, this is everything I've got written down.
You get called tosser much?
Only... Oh, no. Poor Rory.
It's a fair question. It's a fair question. I only get called tosser by other people.
But do you remember anything he said?
No, not a word. He said something about calcium. There's a tree with a funny name. I don't know. Koalas invented rice. It's a robot.
The reason sea crow is the actual word cormorant comes from Corvus marinus, which is the Latin for sea crow.
Old swatty.
Yeah. Because in the end, you are a lot less irritating than Bill Oddie, aren't you?
Well, it's funny you should say Bill Oddie, because Bill Oddie and I decided we should do a bird-watching programme in which Bill plays the expert and I play the sort of the keen, ignorant person. And I was going to call the programme Panori Biarmiki, which is the Latin name for bearded tits.
Very good.
It's probably about 6 blokes of Oxford have gone, huh? You see that?
Phyllocrocodilus graculus would be... It's the crested cormorant, isn't it? It's because the graculus is a jackdaw.
No, a jackdaw is Corvus monedula.
Yes, but it's another word. It's the actual Latin name. The actual Latin name for a jackdaw was graculus.
OK, Stephen, let's not fall out over this, Stephen.
No, it's what... No, I'm saying real Latin. No, you might be interested. Roman people actually called birds things before they wanted. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
Sorry about that. I'm so sorry.
That's all right.
Come on, Sean. There's a portal into the underworld here. It's ridiculous.
What's covered in snot and eats whales?
No, some sort of nose parasite.
Well, it's a parasite that eats whales. And it's a hole. Kind of no. It feeds on the bones of whales. It is evolved.
Is there a creature I don't know about? A massive creature that eats whales.
Oh,
the snot monster. It's this gigantic green thing that I've never seen.
It would be big, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Eats them like peanuts.
The vaccine in a ship for months. You haven't got ice packs. You know, it's 1803. So you round up a few orphans and you inject one orphan with the vaccine and he develops the immunity and his blood is full of the antibodies and it's all great. So you take his blood and you put it in the next one and the next one until you've got a whole colony of orphans who are not harmed because they are immune to smallpox, but it means you can use them as a kind of serum, if you like. It's kind of creepy.
They're not harmed, but they're quite a long way away from home.
Yeah, that's the one trouble, is they find themselves in the middle of the jungle. The British, I'm afraid, we did it too. We did it with low-caste Indian boys. It's a pretty squalid thing to do, but it did work. It saved hundreds of thousands of lives, but, as you say, at the expense of some rather bewildered Spanish orphans.
Yeah, but presumably they weren't brought there and then summarily killed.
No, not killed, but they were just left there, presumably. I mean, they were orphans anyway, so you may say maybe they wouldn't have had that good a future in Spain in 1803. Yeah. So maybe their lives went well for them in South America. Who knows?
Too late now, anyway. Nothing we can do about it.
No, there isn't. You're right. Yeah. But we can we can think about them. We can give this little pause and
don't worry about
honour them.
Don't forget about it. Let's move on.
I love the fact that Orville's in a nappy. That's my favourite.
That was the odd... It was odd, wasn't it? A duck in a nappy.
Which was the opposite of Donald Duck. The opposite of... He always had his privates out, didn't he?
Yes. Good point. Yep, there you go.
Well, very good point. Very good point.
Thank you.
I think I've made that point excellently.
Yeah. Did you have an imaginary friend when you were young?
I'm not aware of it.
No, your mother would have told you.
They didn't used to come around much.
Right.
An imaginary friend who doesn't play with you.
An imaginary friend who cuts you dead.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to be his friend. But,
that's so sad.
He just wasn't interested.
Children who have had them tend to have more social and verbal skills than those who don't. Although, it must be said, a certain proportion of them are malevolent. Some people have imaginary friends who scare their children, which is a very worrying thought. A nasty imaginary friend.
I hear voices.
What's that, though?
Do you?
But I ignore them and I just carry on killing.
Stop killing people, Sean.
Sean, you know this is wrong. You know this is wrong, Sean. This isn't fair. They don't deserve it. I ignore them.